The cat. You want to see the cat. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, okay. Okay, we are live. Okay. Maybe at the end, when we are not live, then we will, then I'll show the video and the photos. Okay. Otherwise, everybody will be confused what we are doing. So, you know what, like I chant in front of the cats sometimes. So the cats also hear the Mahamantra. Okay, where are our other students? They're still yet to join.
Mataji, can I say something? This is Giridhari.
Yes, Giridhari.
Sorry, Mataji, I didn't went to your class like last Monday or last Friday because I think I was here or I was not here.
No, but last Friday we did not have the class because it was Janmashtami, right?
Oh yes.
Everybody
My
would be in
class
the
was there.
temple. Yeah. So after your camp and after the break, we are having this as the first class. So we are waiting on everyone.
Okay.
Okay. So we've already met in the class, right?
Yes.
So none of the new ones. Ryan, I didn't talk to you. How were your vacations? Did your school start?
Yes, I'm in first grade now.
Wow, you're finally in school now after the play school and the preschool. How do you feel to be a big boy?
Good. I'm 7 years old now.
Yes, definitely. You're a big boy, more responsible.
Yeah.
You're 7-year-old, Ryan?
Yeah.
So you're in first grade.
Always lie to me. Say that I'm 7 years old. And at New York, he's told me that I was 7 years old. Well, in Maine.
Okay.
Ryan is a big boy. Look at his feet.
So are you packing up your...
He's not allowing. Okay.
That's okay.
Hey!
That's okay. You're 17 years old for us, Ryan.
Nataji, can you please don't listen to my mom? She's saying it in a wrong.
Okay, you know what? Can we add one to it and make it 17?
Yeah.
That'd be okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure
No worries. So are you packing up your own bag for school?
Yeah.
Do you tidy up all your room by yourself?
Yeah.
Can you mop the house? Not yet. Not yet, right?
No.
Yes. So you should slowly get doing this. Then you'll definitely become more 17
actually,
years.
I got late to school.
That's not good. That's not
Mataji?
good. Hare Krishna, Bhigya. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Gya Subhadra. Okay, so
Mataji.
Yes.
So like last time in 2021, I think we made origami birds, and I still know how to make them, but
Wow.
I actually didn't forget. And then I remembered they sent it a link to how to make a bird, and now I'm doing one right now.
Very good. You know what? You can make one. You can make one in a green and yellow, and then when it is Radhashtami, you can depict it as a parrot and keep in Radharani's hand. Right?
Last time we went to the temple, and when it was Radhashtami, the day after, that's when my brother's birthday is.
Oh, good.
And my birthday is day after Gaur Purnima.
Aha. Divine children. Okay. Hare Krishna, Abhigya. So what we'll do is we'll start with our class, and all our friends will join soon. Let's hope for it. So what we'll do is after this verse, after the next week, we will go on with the revision of the verses, okay? Of the 7th chapter, because it's been a long time that we're doing the 7th chapter. Okay, everyone, can we start the prayers? You can unmute yourself and then start the prayers.
Om
Ajnana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णवेषाय भूतले श्रीमते हरि बोल हरि बोल या नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णवेषाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे।
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Okay, so today we are on our 7.27 verse. Okay, yeah, so what we will do is we'll do one word at a time and then two and then one line at a time and then go ahead. Okay, Ichhadvesha, Ichhadvesha Samuttena, Ichhadvesha Samuttena, Ichhadvesha Samuttena, Dvandva, Dvandva, Mohena, Mohena, Dvandmohena, Bharata, Dvandvamohena Bharata, Ichhadvesha Samuttena, Dvandvamohena Bharata, Sarva, Bhutani, Sarvabhutani, Sarvabhutani, Sammoham, Sarvabhutani Sammoham, Sarvabhutani Sammoham, Sarge Yanti, Sarge Yanti, Parantapa, Sarge Yanti Parantapa, Sarvabhutani Sammoham, Sarge Yanti Parantapa, Ichhadvesha Samuttena, Dvandvamohena Bharata, Sarvabhutani Sammoham, Sarge Yanti Parantapa, Ichhadvesha Samuttena, Dvandvamohena Bharata, Sarvabhutani Sammoham, Sarge yanti parantapa. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll have, okay, we'll again play our game. Everybody ready for our game?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Tushita, Sudevi, Hari Bol, good to see you. Ryan, I did not see you reciting any word right now. Okay. And I think you are very good at reciting your verses. So I
Yes.
want you to pay attention. And when I say one word, you're going to repeat after me. Okay.
Okay.
Is that okay, Ryan?
Yeah.
We can be a very big boy, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I want to see a big boy Ryan now in the class, paying attention to the class and reciting the verses with everyone. Okay. So one more time we will say it so that I can hear Ryan also say it. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Okay, so we'll play our game. I hope everybody remembers our game. What we do?
Yeah, Mataji, we so like if you say the word, we'll say the
Sanskrit meaning.
the Sanskrit no like when she says the I forgot what the word is, but the Sanskrit word if we say if we when she says the meaning
Yes.
of the Sanskrit word, then we have to say the
Word, yes. Okay, yeah. So what we'll do is, okay. So for those who have joined new, what we'll do is, where is, Abhigya. So just for Hare Krishna, Krishna Nana. Okay. So what we do is, if I tell you these words are in different color, right? You see in the synonyms. These are the words in the Sanskrit and these are the English meanings. So what game we play is any word, okay? Randomly, any word I might pick up. So if I tell the Sanskrit word, then you have to look out for what is the English meaning, okay? And at times I might tell the English meaning and then you have to look at the Sanskrit word. Did you get it, Abhigya?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so start. So we'll have eyes and ears on our synonyms, okay? And I want everybody, some of you may not find it, but then still everybody is going to repeat the meaning and the word. So that, one second, okay? Okay. Bharata. Son of Bharata. Sarge.
The while taking birth.
While taking birth. Everybody is going to repeat, okay? Go.
Yanti.
Go Yanti. Shita, can you repeat? Go Yanti.
Go Yanti.
Okay. Ryan, are you repeating? Parantapa.
Conqueror enemies.
O conqueror of enemies. Parantapa, O conqueror of enemies. And hate. Dvesha. Dvesha and hate. Samuthena. Arisen from. Very nice. Samuthena, arisen from. Very. Mohena.
By the illusion.
By the illusion. Mohena. Mohena by illusion. Ryan, I do not see you reading. Ryan. You have to repeat, right? Mohena by the illusion.
Mohana by the illusion. I like
Good.
it.
All. Very good. All.
Sarva.
Sarva. All
Sarva.
sarva. Very nice. Of duality.
Dvandva. Dvandva.
Dvandva. Of duality. Dvandva. Living entities.
Bhutani.
Bhutani. Living entities. Bhutani. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So I think desire.
Icha.
Icha. Icha, desire. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So I think we are done. So, Samskriti, can you read the translation for us?
Yes, Mataji. O Seer of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arising from desire and hate.
Very good. This is very important verse and a very nice verse, like for all of us, this is everybody in this conditioned life, everybody in this material world should really, really understand this verse in a very proper way. Okay. Okay. Anybody new has joined? Ryan, Abhigya, Krishna Nana, Sudevi, Haribol Sudevi. Okay. So now we'll go word by word, okay? Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. So what is the Lord trying to tell Arjuna? See, again, we are going back to where it is starting from, right? This all is starting in the battlefield, right, Ryan? In the battlefield where there is Arjuna and Krishna. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna. He is explaining Arjuna. Okay. So why? Because Arjuna was bewildered. Arjuna was so confused what to do, what not to do. So now the Lord is trying to explain him things and make him understand what things are. So she says, "O son of Bharata." Now see, the Lord has always been referring Arjuna in different names. So he says, "O son of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion." So now there are some important words which we are going to mark over here, because those are the words which we will be really, really concentrating on. Delusion, bewildered by dualities from desire, arising from desire and hate. Okay, so these are the three words which really are very, very important over here. So we'll see what is first. Icha, dvesh, everybody said, right? So okay, anybody knows what is icha? Many of time we
Desire.
desire, right? Icha is desire. Dvesha,
Hate.
hate, right? Dvesh is hate. Yeah, the meanings are given over here. So it is dvesh is hate. So let us see what exactly Srila Prabhupada has translated these words for us. Okay. See, these two items, desire to be the Lord and envy of the Lord, are the beginning cause of material bondage. Okay, what does Srila Prabhupada say is that, when we are in this material body, when we come onto this material world, what we think, my house, my computer, my car, then what we say
My
is,
school bag. Everything mine.
yes, that we have to say when we go to school, right? You cannot pick up somebody else's bag and come home.
Mataji, can you say something?
Yes, Giridhari?
So Srila Prabhupada, I like Srila Prabhupada's quotes because I put quotes of Srila Prabhupada in my book, so I can know the meaning and I understand the meaning.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so you know what, like we do not only envy with our friends and our people around, but at a point people start envying with the Lord also. They will say that suppose you pass in an exam. I'll give you an example which is related to you. You pass in an exam. What do you say? Oh, you know what? I worked very hard. I studied late night. I studied in the morning. I studied whole day. And that is the reason I got good marks. Then when somebody builds a house, they say, you know what? I have been struggling so hard. And then I built this house. So always, nobody in this world like those who are not devotees or those who do not know the significance of the Lord, what they do is they always try to lord everything. Lord everything means what? They say I, me, my, everything belongs to me and I have done it. See over here, this slide will tell you a little bit more. Like, this is my car, this is my money, this is my house, this is my family. See, this my car, my house, my garden, I, me, mine. So we are stuck. You see the circles? We are stuck. We have made ourselves a temporary illusion. We have made ourselves into a prison house. See, this is just like a prison house. I, me, mine. How many of you would like to live in a prison? How many would like to live in a prison?
Not me. Not
In a jail?
me.
Really? Nobody would like to stay in a jail?
No, no.
Okay. But then what we do, we find it good that we can stay in the jail which is built by ourselves. What we do is we make a jail for ourselves, me, and we try to live within our own shell. And this is what the cause of all our sufferings in this world. Okay. So we'll see this. What is first Ichcha and Dvesha? Girdhari, can you read about this Ichcha? This part?
Okay, Mataji. Okay, Mataji. One propensity is
Propensity.
Ichcha, which means desire to lord it over material nature or to be as great as the Supreme Lord. Every desires to be the greatest personality in this material world.
Very good. See, so what is Ichcha? Always we feel that you have to be on the top. You have to lord everything. You have to be like, it should always be about yourself. This is what every human being or every material body tries to do it. Smriti, can you read the next part over here? Dvesha?
Dvesha means envy. When one becomes envious of the Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one thinks, why should Krishna be this, the all and all?
Right? See how people think, right? How anybody can think about it. That why is it that I should give the credit to Krishna? Why should it that I should give credit to someone else? And this is what we are stuck into. That is our propensity, the Ichcha and Dvesha. So what does the Lord say? Ichcha Dvesha Samuttena. Right? Now this is arising from somewhere. So let us see where it is arising from. The Lord is giving the answer also. Samuttena means it is arising from what? Dvandva mohena bharata. That means, O son of Bharata, it is arising from illusion. And what is this illusion? This illusion is about I, me, mine, my choice, my house, my family, my place, my country. Everything which is there, it comes from all these illusions. Okay. Now, why are they called as illusions? What is illusion, first of all?
Mataji, I know. Maya.
Maya is illusion. Okay. Anybody else wants to? Yes, Smriti?
It's like illusion is temporary. It's like putting a blanket in front of our eyes. It's there, but we're not going to be underneath the blanket 24/7. We're eventually going to take it off once we go to bed.
Very nice, Smriti. Wonderfully explained. Very nice. Yes, Abhigya?
Illusion means something that's not there, but your eyes just fool you, or your brain, like, it also fools you sometimes. Like, you see things that aren't there. Like, sometimes in the desert and you're really thirsty, you'll start seeing water everywhere. And yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice, Abhigya. Anybody else wants to tell something more? Yes, Balavrinda.
Illusion means that which something is not temporary.
It's not real.
It's not real and it's temporary.
Very good. Yes. Right. Like in our the war of Mahabharata, Lord Shri Krishna had made one illusion during the, what was it? During whose?
Mataji, can I tell? So when Abhimanyu died, Arjuna gave a vow that I will either kill Jarasandha or I'll kill myself.
Jayadratha.
Oh, Jayandra. And those two people, they confuse me. So the Kaurava army made a formation, and as to what Arjuna was doing, he was killing the soldiers left and right. This time was running out, and so what Krishna made an illusion that it was dark, so like the sunset, and that's how the forces around Jayadratha, they reduced, they put their weapons down, and Arjuna was able to conquer Jayadratha.
Yes, very nice, very nice. Yes, Abhigya.
So basically, what's Smriti said. So basically, it was like Jayadratha, he killed Arjuna's son, and then Arjuna got so mad, so he went like they've created a circle. So he kept fighting and fighting, and then he was like, if I don't kill him by sunset, then I'll kill myself. So they did Duryodhana and all. They made the circle like so big with billions of like soldiers and stuff. So he kept fighting. And then Krishna just made the whole place cloudy, make it look like sunset.
Yes.
Then Jayadratha came in front of Arjuna and said, see, now you have to kill yourself at sunset. You couldn't kill me. So then Krishna made it bright again. And then Arjuna was like, are you sure? And then he killed him. And
Yes, yes. Okay. So this is illusion. Like in the war of Mahabharata, how Krishna, he bought the clouds, he covered the clouds with the, covered the sun with the clouds, and then it pretended that it was already sunset. And when it was sunset, Jayadratha came out of his tent, and then he started laughing. And at that point, Krishna, through his chakra, again he dispersed all the clouds, and then the sun was again back in the sky, which told everyone that it was not yet time for sunset. And right in the middle of the battlefield, there was Arjuna in front of Jayadratha, where he could punish Jayadratha for his misdeeds. Right. So that illusion was first created by Lord Krishna in the war of in the Kurukshetra. Right. Now, this illusion in our world, we, regularly we get into illusion. In this world, there are so many chances, there are so many ways by which we can be deluded. Okay. Sometimes, what happens is that you get up cranky in the morning. Okay. How many of you get up? Sometimes you get up cranky in the morning. Sometimes it just doesn't
happens.
Yes, Mataji, Bhagavad does.
Yeah, sometimes it just does not, it's not your day sometimes. Then somebody might say, oh, did you get up on the wrong side of the bed? Right? That means like you did not get up well today. So it could happen. And then what happens is you're simply angry. And then something happens, some small things happen, and then you're ready to pounce. So Devi, does it happen to you? Haribol Sudevi?
Yes, Mataji.
Does it happen ever to you? Do you get angry anytime? I don't think so.
Mataji.
Okay. Okay. So we see Sudevi is growing. I see Sudevi's tooth is, she's lost her tooth. You should take a photo of yourself when you're smiling with that tooth gone. Every tooth you lose, you should take a photo of yourself with the tooth missing. Eee. And then when you grow up, it's a nice memory. Okay. So yeah, so what happens is, when you're angry, or when you have, somebody has stolen something, or somebody has taken something from you and they're not giving you back, then you are very mad at them. Or you want some place in the house where you want to study and somebody else comes and sits over there, then you are like, you don't like it. So all these things, what happens is, at such times you make wrong decisions, because you do not see the real thing, or you do not see, you simply get carried away by the wrong thoughts, and then you make wrong decisions and you behave in a very wrong way. At times, without any reason, you just start thinking, your mom says, I'm going to give you chapati for lunch, and you says, no, I wanted pasta. And then sometimes mom says, I'm going to give you sandwich, and you say, no, I want some fries, right? And then you get mad without any reasons. So these things, what they do is they are going to cloud your memory. Just how the clouds covered the sun, same way these wrong thoughts, these wrong deeds, they cover our mind. Okay. And when our mind is covered, when our mind is not in the right position, we make wrong decisions, and we make wrong decisions, or wrong work is being done. So in our scriptures also, there are many examples where they have told that how illusion is going to affect us. Now we are going to see a story to explain our points. Okay, how many ready for a story time? Everyone? Okay. Friday evening story time. Okay, so we are going to talk about a story of Dhanurdasa, who was deluded by illusion. Okay, now this illusion, what I've said is illusion are of many types. Whatever is going to cloud your senses to not think in a proper way, that is illusion. Okay, if your eyes might be in illusion, your mind might be in illusion. Yes, Giridhari?
Mataji, I was saying that is this the photo of Dhanurdas? Mataji?
No. This is not the photo of Dhanurdas. This
Oh.
is Ramanujacharya. Sri
Oh.
Ramanujacharya. Okay. So we are talking a story about Dhanurdas who was deluded by illusion. Okay.
Okay.
So now the story of Dhanurdas and Sri Ramanujacharya, it is associated with the Sri Ranganath temple, okay, which is in India. Yes, Smriti?
Mataji, can you full screen the slideshow?
Okay, one second, okay. Let me see how to full screen. Okay, is that okay? Okay. So it is about, okay. Okay, so the Sri Ramanujacharya, and this is a story about Dhanudas and Sri Ramanujacharya. Okay, so in this temple, what happened was that there was a procession going on. It was a Brahmotsav festival at the Sri Rangam temple of Sri Ranganath Swami. Okay, and there were many people. There were hundreds of people gathered at the temple, and they were going in the procession. Now, what Sri Ranganath saw was that when he was looking at the procession, hundreds of men and women had gathered to Sri Ranganath. Okay, and when the procession had started, and they were taking the procession. Okay, I don't know. The Lord is taken out. See, like this, the Lord is taken out by the priest and the chanting, and they are singing the holy names of the Lord. They are devotees singing around the glories. And there is a lot of, there's a lot of crowd, and the procession is very beautifully taken around the temple. Okay. And when the procession is going on, naturally, what will you be looking at? What will you be looking at?
Lord Ranganath?
Lord Ranganath, right? The procession of the deity. If it is the Rath Yatra, you will be looking at the Rath Yatra. You'll be looking at Lord Jagannath, Lord Baladev, Mai Subhadra, right? Now, where there is a procession going on of Lord Ranganath, so then naturally it should have been that everybody is looking at that. Now, what happened over here? This is one more important. Okay, one second. But amidst, like in that whole crowd, there was a handsome young man. There was a man, and he was holding an umbrella over the head of his beautiful wife. Okay, this procession was going on, and this Ramanujacharya saw that this man, he is holding an umbrella over his wife, a wife's head, and he is not looking at the procession, but he is busy looking at his wife. He's walking backward, walking in a different ways to just have a glimpse of his wife and look around his wife. Okay, and he was looking at the beauty of his wife. He was looking at the eyes of his wife, and he was holding an umbrella so that she should not get the sun, and he was doing all sorts of things only in the favor of his wife. Okay, now what did Sri Ramanujacharya do is that he asked for his disciples to go and get this man. Okay, the Acharya sent for him and asked what he saw. So when this young man came to Sri Ramanujacharya, he asked him, like, what are you doing? He says, you know what, my wife is so beautiful and I really love her, and love her eyes, I love her beauty, and that is the reason I was protecting her, and I am so happy to look at her. Okay, I have not seen anyone beautiful as her in this whole wide world, he said. And then Sri Ramanujacharya was listening to him and said, you know what, and this young man continues, so when I see her, it makes me so happy, it makes me forget everything, and I love looking at her. So see, he was explaining his wife's beauty, and he said that I love her so much and I love her beauty, and that is the reason I'm taking care of her. She is like the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, he says, or the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, he says. So now what did Sri Ramanujacharya think was, because Sri Ramanujacharya is a guru, he had pity on this person, because what does guru do? Guru takes you from darkness towards light, right? So what did he do was, he felt a lot sad that this person has so much of appreciation for beauty. He has so much of love for the beauty of things around. And why not show him the real beauty in this world? Now, what do you think is the real beauty in this world? Any idea? What do you think is the most beautiful in this world?
Radha and Krishna.
Radha and Krishna.
Okay, Radha and Krishna, the love for Krishna by Radharani, right? So the Sri Ramanujacharya, he felt very sad that this conditioned soul is so much lost in this world, that he is thinking that his wife is the only beautiful person over here. Hare Krishna Advait, nice to see you over here. Hare Krishna Suraj. Where's Tushita? I don't see Tushita. Tushita is there?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Tushita is there. Hare Krishna. Okay. So then Sri Ramanujacharya, he said that, you know what? Now you are attracted to this physical beauty so much. I am going to show you something more. Okay, come with me, he said. And if I show you something more beautiful, he said, Dhanuda said, oh no, I don't agree with you. There's nothing beautiful than this beautiful beauty which is there right in front of me. Ramanujacharya, okay, come with me, he said, okay. And then Ramanujacharya takes him to Lord Ranganath's temple inside. Okay, that evening he takes inside the temple of Lord Ranganath. Okay, and when this Dhanurdas is right in front of Lord Ranganath, there's the arati going on. Okay, the deep which is going on around Lord Ranganath. And when it is around Lord Ranganath, the deep goes around, right? And when it is going around, you should see sometime the arati. When it is going around, it goes around the Lord's face, and then it comes up to his feet, and then again it goes up. And as it goes towards his face, see, when you see the Lord, okay, observe sometime. When you see the Lord, you might see, okay, the Lord's face is there. But when the deepam comes towards the Lord's face, I might show a video in the group. I'll send it one. When it comes to the Lord's face, you feel that the Lord is smiling through and through. Okay. And then you can see the twinkle in the Lord's eyes as well. And when this Dhanurdas saw, when the arati is coming around Lord's face, the Lord's face is dazzling and it is full, it is like a beautiful experience for him. He can see the beautiful lotus eyes of the Lord, and he feels that there is nothing else. He forgets about his wife. He feels that there is nothing beautiful compared to these eyes. And where was I lost? I had never seen Lord Ranganath like this. And look at his eyes, look at his smile, and he's mesmerized. Okay, so earlier he was deluded by the beauty of his wife, and now when he saw the most beautiful thing in this whole wide world, he was mesmerized, and he fell at the feet of Sri Ramanujacharya, and he said that you have shown me the most beautiful thing in the world. And he started crying in front of Sri Ramanujacharya. Okay, and then he said that this is the best beautiful experience that you have given me. and I am I am ready to become your disciple. Please guide me. And his wife was there. She was also a very good woman. Her name was Hemamba. Okay, so she also followed Sri Ramanujacharya, and then they both became the disciples, and then they both started serving the Lord in the most beautiful way. Okay, so see how a guru can take away illusion from your eyes, from your life. Whatever, if you think you're doing something which is most beautiful, you should always have a guru, and you should always think about them and ask them, am I doing this right? Is this the right thing to do? And then the guru will guide you in the most proper way. So how Dhanurdas was, his delusion or his illusion about the beauty of his wife to be the best was taken away by Sri Ramanujacharya. Okay. So this was one example how an illusion can mislead you and how a guru can take you from darkness towards light. Okay. So the second thing which the Lord tells us is about, one second. Okay, I'm going to go back to over here. See, what is it? All living entities are born into delusion. So we saw this and are bewildered. Now this Dhanurdas was also bewildered by his wife's beauty, right? And when he saw Lord Ranganath, then he understood what exact beauty was. Now, what is the Lord saying over here next is bewildered by dualities arising from desire and hate. Now we are going to see exactly what desire and hate and how that desire and hate is going to cloud your mind. Okay. Anybody can feel and tell us any example of how a wrong desire clouded somebody's mind and led to a lot of problems in
Mataji,
somebody else?
Ajamila.
No,
Ajamila. Yes, Ajamila was also.
You read my mind.
Okay. So then, Ryan, are you there? I don't see you. Advait, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, we are missing on who? Who is not there? I'm forgetting its name. Okay. So the next we are going to talk about Dhritarashtra. Okay. Now what the next thing Lord is saying is, because the mind is deluded by desires and hate. Okay. Now Dhritarashtra over here is an example which is given. One second, okay. Yeah. So Dhritarashtra example is given. Now Dhritarashtra, he was born blind, right? We all know the story of Dhritarashtra, that he was born blind. Tushita, you want to tell something about Dhritarashtra? Anything what you know?
No, Mataji, I don't know anything.
Okay. Dhritarashtra was a Kaurava, right? He was the king, he was the father of Duryodhana. Okay. He was the father of Duryodhana and all the 100 Kauravas. So Dhritarashtra, he was blind and he was born blind. And he had 100 children, the Kauravas. Now, according to the rules of the nation, it was that a blind person cannot be the king, because he will not be able to take care of the kingdom in a proper way, or he will not be able to deal with the kingdom in any proper way, because one of his senses was not working. So he might take wrong decisions. He might not do the right thing which is done. And that is the reason the Pandu king, or the King Pandu, he was supposed to be the king. And this is what Dhritarashtra did not like. He always felt that I have the strength of 1,000 elephants. I am so strong. What if my eyes are not there, but I am capable enough to become a king? But because of the rules of the kingdom, he was not allowed to become the king. So he always had the desire that he should be the king. Now, because he was not allowed to be the king, so-called king, he felt that now his children, now his sons should become the king, and they should be the king of Hastinapur. So that desire in his mind was always, always, always there. And because of this desire, his mind got always clouded. So in the scriptures, it is also written that Dhritarashtra was physically blind by his eyes, but because of his deeds, whatever he did, and he did not correct Duryodhana when he was wrong. He did not change Duryodhana's behavior when it was time. Because of that, it is also said in the scriptures that Duryodhana was not only physically blind, but mentally also he was blind, because he did not see the things in a right way. And this happens because your mind is again deluded by desires. You want this, you want that. You know, when we are when we take birth, when it is said that okay, somebody is born into the next life as a tree, somebody is born as a fish. Why? Because of our desires. We feel whatever we feel. We know the story of King Bharata, right? At the time of death, he was thinking about the deer. And what happened? Advait, Samskriti, Krishna Naina, where are you
He
all?
became a deer in his next life.
Yes, he became the deer in his next life. So his desires, because of his those desires, he became a deer in his next life. So now, Dhritarashtra, he always had the desire that Duryodhana should be the king. And because of this desire, he just always overlooked whatever wrong things were done by Duryodhana. So these desires can also delude. Sometimes, you know, you sometimes it might happen that you desire that you should have an ice cream, okay, and then you have cold, but then you tell your mom, no, no, my cold is gone. See, I do not have any cold, I'm perfectly okay, and then you go and eat an ice cream, right? It happens sometimes. Has it happened any time to you? No.
No, so far.
Oh, you all are good children, huh? I did it yesterday. I
I
had an
had
ice
a cold
cream.
and I asked my dad, but well, like he knows I still have a cold. I didn't say anything about um not being sick or anything.
Oh, so then you know what, like your mind clouds when your desires are very strong, when you really really want something, and then you feel that no, 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 I'm okay, I can still have it. And this is what the Dhritarashtra was always ended up into doing wrong things only because of the fatherly love for his son. Now over here again, the now for this the first example was for his desire. Okay, now the next is, as Lord says, that your mind can be clouded because of hate as well, right? And hate is a very very strong word. It's a very very strong feeling. You should not ever have this feeling for anyone in this world. Okay, always remember, you should not hate anyone. Now, Dhritarashtra, at the time, in the Kurukshetra war, what happened was Duryodhana was killed by Bhima, right? In the war of Kurukshetra, Duryodhana, the son of Dhritarashtra,
Mataji,
yes.
sorry, Mataji, we were out of battery. That's why.
Yes, Mataji, we didn't get to join the class, or we didn't get to hear. Now we have like 1%, and I don't think we're going to be able to
Can you
keep
keep it
doing
on
like
charging?
this.
Can you keep it on charge? You can charge it
But
while you're
Mataji, when we put it in the charge, then all of a sudden it just like a few minutes, like 6 minutes later, then it just turns off. I
Are
don't
you
know
sure?
why.
You can see where's the charging point, and you can charge the computer.
Mataji, I think battery has gone or some problem is there. That's why when they put the charge also it's
Yes, Mataji, my mom said not to ever charge while you're using the computer.
Okay.
But if we don't charge, it, then we won't be able to
your
hear
mom
Yeah.
the
phone to join the class. Now you can join with your mom phone.
Yeah, phone, with the phone also you can join.
Yes, but Mataji, my mom is very busy right now with the phone. She's talking with someone.
Okay. We'll miss you then. You can attend, you can see the class later on. And I
Like,
hope you
see, how about we join on Monday, since there's no charge? And if we keep doing like this, it'll get exhausting, because we're trying to join in the computer, but we're not able to do it. Like
okay. So next
on the
week,
black.
No, okay, no worries. Next week, what you can do is you can remember that the class is at 6:15 and then you can keep your laptop charged beforehand. Is that okay? Would that serve?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
We'll miss you,
The
Subhadra
class is
Giridhari.
about to be over, so I think this will
Yeah, in
last
another 15
along
minutes we'll be
about
done.
5,
Yes.
10,
Yeah.
another 50.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, Mataji.
Okay. Hari
Hari
bol. Hari
Hare
bol.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So see, Dhritarashtra, he was so overpowered by hate as well. Okay. See how hate is also making an illusion, making an your mind clouded over here. Dhritarashtra, because he had that anger that Bhima has killed my son. So what did he do was, when all the Pandavas at the end of the war, when the war was done, and they came to meet Dhritarashtra, when they came to Hastinapur back, what did he do was, he was in his mind that he had to kill Bhima. Okay, and he had that anger in his mind. So what did he do when Bhima and everybody came? He said, "Oh Bhima, come and give me a hug. I want to hug you." That time, Lord Krishna was there, and Krishna knew what what Dhritarashtra was thinking. So what did he do? A statue which was there right in front of the entrance, he put that statue in front of Dhritarashtra. And Dhritarashtra was very strong. Okay, he had the power of 1,000 elephants. So what did he do? When he embraced when he embraced Bhima, he embraced him so hard that the statue which was there, that also exploded. Okay, that also cracked. With so much of force, he put on that statue. He felt that he was killing Bhima. And when the statue was all broken, he thought that he has killed Bhima. And then he realized that, oh, what have I done? I've killed one of my brother's children. And then he started crying. And at that point, Krishna said that you have taken all of your anger now, and this is Bhima over here. You did not kill him. See, so what happens is, when there is hatred around, your mind can be clouded because of that as well. Okay, so this was about Dhritarashtra. Now, another story which we are going to talk about is about Duryodhana. We're talking about examples about those people or those personalities who were deluded by hate, by desires, and how they did the wrong things, so that we do not make up these choices ever again in our life, with all these examples which we are learning. Okay. What is this picture over here? Can anybody tell me? Haribol? What is this picture over here about? The first one.
The Lac Palace is burning.
Yes, the Lakshagriha, right? The Lakshagriha, where the Pandavas were staying, the Pandavas were sent, that was built specifically by Duryodhana with lac. Lac is what?
Coal.
Wax. Okay, it is
How can a house be made out of wax? Aren't there all the bees there?
not that wax exactly, but it is a lac. Lac is what,
Are you talking about pencil wax?
Glass, Mataji, it's kind of little glass.
Sorry?
Glass.
Not glass, Mataji. Lac is 1 minute. What is it? Okay, the Lakshagriha, it was made up like, okay, it is a substance which can melt due to heat, just how wax melts due to heat, right?
Mataji,
So, yes.
is it like candle wax?
Yes, it's like candle wax, and it's called as lac. In English also, it's called as lac, L-A-C. Okay, how in Lakshagriha we calling it as in Sanskrit. In English, it is called as lac. So lac is, those in Rajasthan, you get those bangles also, lac bangles. Okay, so like when you burn a little bit, they can be again, you can join them again. So that's lac, L-A-C. So in English also it's called as lac, and in Sanskrit it's called as lak. It is called as lak in English, in Marathi also. So similar words in English and in Sanskrit also. So that was built up for specifically for the Pandavas, because then it was a trap so that they could be killed. So this hatred for the Pandavas by Duryodhana led him to such a wrong thing of even killing the Pandavas. And this was not the first time that he did it. The second picture over here, this is about, anybody can tell what is the second picture?
This
Yes.
Mataji, can admit
pushed inside the river.
Mataji told anybody can say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mataji, this is when Duryodhana put Bhima, like he fed Bhima some poison and he put Bhima in the ocean, and when he fell all the way down, those snakes and the snakes counteracted the poison and he woke up and got
we'll talk about that later on. Yes. First thing,
Mataji, what
you're saying
is
something?
Mataji? For the first time I noticed this. Why is Bhima carrying some kids?
Bhima is carrying some kids?
Yeah.
No.
Mataji, I think he means Nakula and Sahadev.
Why are they so small?
Where are they?
Bhima is carrying them.
Mataji, in the fire.
No. In the fire, these are all the Pandavas. These are.
Yeah,
Carrying,
there is.
it's not
Arjuna is in the
carrying.
back.
They're saving each other. They're saving each
Draupadi
other.
came out. Bhima is holding two supposedly kids, and this is Yudhishthir helping Nakul.
They're all coming out with each other's help, right? They're
Yeah,
all
but
coming out through each other's help.
how could Nakul and Sahadev look like well, not adults?
No, they are adults, but Bhima is too strong and big, right? So you might feel that the others are tiny in front of him. Okay. So then at the next, Ryan, you want to say something?
When is the class going to be over?
You are not like, don't you like the stories?
I like the story, but I wanted to know when is the class going to be over?
Oh, I'm so sad that you do not like the stories, Ryan. You're so bored of me.
I'm not.
Mataji, every kid about Ryan's age thinks, when is school going to be over? When is school going to be over? When can I play? So
No.
he's thinking this as school.
Okay. Okay. So then, see over here, Duryodhana, when Bhima was small, that time also they had tried to kill Bhima by feeding him poison and then throwing him into the water. So this is a very strong again thing, what hate can do to a person. Okay. Now this hate, I'm going to take away the short screen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now see over here again. O son of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered. This is an important word. Bewildered means you're confused by dualities which are arising from desire and hate. Okay. So that dualities means you're not thinking it in the right way. There are always two ways to do things, right? So dualities due to arising through to desire and hate. So we have come up to this point. Now, we are just going to give analogies to prove what things are. Now, what do you see over here? What is there over here? In the picture, what do you see?
A snake.
A snake? Look at it carefully.
Type of rope.
A rope.
A rope, right? See? A rope or a snake. I want somebody to, Sudevi, can you read this translation and the purport?
A rope causes fear for a bewildered person who considers it a snake, but not for a person with a proper intelligence who knows it to be only a rope. Similarly, you, as a super soul in everyone's heart, inspire fear or fearlessness according to one's intelligence. But in you, there's no duality. Thank you.
Right. So see the rope. Okay. Then here, Smriti, can you read the top part over here?
A rope is one truth, but some mistake.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
But some mistake it for a snake, whereas others know it to be a rope. Similarly, devotees who know the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not see contradictions in him, but non-devotees regard him as a snake-like source of all fear.
Right. Again, another story of Duryodhan, where he, like, see, when you do not know the real identity of the Lord, or when you do not consider the Lord as the supreme, you might make many offenses, right? How Duryodhan, what he had done, what did he try to do? A rope example, the right rope is there in front of us. Do you remember the story? How Duryodhana, when Lord Krishna came to explain him things and tell him that just give, and he was trying to convince Duryodhana that you can just give 5 villages to the Pandavas and they will be happy with it. Okay, so but they do not want a war, so you can stop the war and just give them 5 villages so that they can survive by themselves. And at that time Duryodhana said that forget about 5 villages, I will not even give them a land which can fit on a tip of a needle. A tip of a needle is so tiny, right? I won't even spare so much of land which which can fit on a tip of a needle. And at that time, what did he do? He even made an offense of trying to capture Lord Krishna, right? What did he do? He took a rope and he asked the courtmen, that he asked his soldiers to bind Krishna. So this is what is the power of delusion when you are not in your proper senses. A rope also can be considered as a snake and you can be fearful of that. So it depends upon how you think, seeing things. Okay, then we have Krishnan. Are you there? Balavrinda, can you read this for us?
Yes. The real constitutional position of the living entities is that of subordination to the Supreme Lord, who is pure knowledge. He who is deluded by the ego thinks I am the doer.
Right, so see, so this is the power of delusion, that you do not see what is the right and the wrong, and you feel that you are the powerful. But what is the reality is that you have to be surrendered to the Lord, right? That means you do not have to think that it is only me who has done it. Now, this quickly, I'm just going to summarize this part, okay? Okay, now Yudhishthir was successful, influential, and an affluent king, but he wasn't attached to it, right? That, see, when we are reading through this, or when we are learning through our Bhagavad Gita, that does not mean that we should not be successful in this life, we should not be happy, or we should not have that, yes, this belongs to me. It is not that. If I say this house belongs to me, it wrong. If I can say that, you know what, this house belongs to Krishna and I am living in this house, right? If you say that, it gives you a different perspective, right? If I say no, this house belongs to me and I have a room for Krishna in this house, how does that sound? And on the other hand, if I say, no, this house belongs to Krishna and I have a room for myself. I have in this, my whole house, I have a quarter for myself over here because this house belongs to Krishna. It gives a total different feeling, right? A different perspective for things, looking at things in a different way. So see, Yudhishthir was also a king. He was also like, he did not say, oh no, I do not want to be king. Krishna is the supreme. No, he was the king. But what idea did he have in his mind? He was not attached to the kingdom. When it was time for them to leave, he very happily left the kingdom and then he went away. They all went away for their pilgrimage, right? All the Pandavas at the end of their, when it was at the end of their life. So you see, Yudhishthir, he was not attached. So what is the difference between Yudhishthir and Dhritarashtra? Can anybody tell me?
Mate, Yudhishthir wasn't attached, but Diritarashtra was.
right?
Yeah,
So both were the king, but Yudhishthir wasn't attached and Dhritarashtra was attached to the kingdom. Okay, so yeah. Now, when we have in our ISKCON, when we have our names given, right? Now it is Sita Priti Devidasi. Or when it is, suppose now it is what, like Rameshwar Mohan Das, right? So this Das and Dasi, what does that tell us? Any idea?
Mataji is servant of Krishna. I mean,
Okay.
servant of
You know
servant
what?
of.
We are going to raise hands and let me ask, okay? Krishna Nena, what are we doing? We are not answering these days. Krishna Nena? Where is Krishna Nena? Where did she go? She was there right now. Where did she go? Are you there, Krishna Nena? Yeah, I think I saw you. Yeah. I can't hear you. Okay, so yes, anybody wants to answer? Please raise hands in the chat so that I can ask you. Yes, Abhigya?
I think it means like that if you're a dasi, that means like you're a girl servant of the Lord, and if you're like dasa, that
See,
means
that is again the servant. Yes, servant of the God, right? So, and you know what, like if you say that in this world, if you say that I am the servant of someone, you feel that, oh, I cannot be a servant. I have to be the owner of something, right? But in our, this is all the, all the illusions of this material world. But originally, we should not forget what is our eternal position. Okay, if we understand what is our eternal position, it becomes very, very easy. What is our eternal position? Our eternal position is that we are servant of the Lord. We are over here to please the Lord, to serve the Lord. Okay. And when we are over here to serve the Lord, we cannot be, we cannot be sad on the feeling that, yes, I'm a servant, because that is our eternal position. This Maharaja, King, this is all in this world that we are having the titles. So one should not forget what is our eternal position. Okay. I want, so wait, who is not read it?
Mataji, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Krishna Nena, can you read this?
Okay, Mataji. In essence, let us not get caught up in making our
Palace here.
palace here and become a king here. Let us try to become a genuine servant of God and enter the spiritual world. Remember, a servant there is a far greater achievement than becoming a king here. And taking it one step ahead by becoming a servant, there you automatically become a king. Yeah, that's a small gift from God's side. The biggest gift is a life beside him. Thank you,
Right,
Mataji.
right. Very nice. So this is what is our eternal position, that we are the servant of the Lord, and that should be the conclusion of our this problem, right? So what is the solution is that there is no definite solution. Only the thing is that you have to stop this sarga, that is the repetition of birth and death. And this repetition of birth and death only arises because of our desires, right? And if these desires are under control, and if these desires are taken care of, then what happens is that your whole life can be changed. Okay, everybody is understanding what we have done? With the stories, at least it was easier to understand, right? So I want you all, next week we are going to revise. No, next week we have another verse from the 7th chapter, right? We'll do that and then we'll go with the revision of all the verses, okay, for the 7th chapter. I think it's late for you all now. I think it's already 7:30.
Next week is long weekend. How many of you will attend if the class will be there in the long weekend time?
Next week is long weekend?
Yes, Mataji, we have Labor Day, right?
Oh.
Mataji, for me, school we have.
Oh, you have school for next week. Monday you have school?
But me, Mataji, there's no.
Not this week, next Friday. Next Friday, I am asking. Next
Oh,
Friday,
next week. Yeah.
Next week is Labor Day days.
Labor Day.
Mataji, Radhastami weekend.
Yeah, Radhastami weekend is a Labor Day. Yes.
Okay. Let us see, Mataji. We'll discuss it and then we'll put it up in the group.
Yeah. If you say you will all attend, then we will do the class. Because, one kid, two kid is coming, doing the class is very hard for a teacher, right? Let us know, okay? If you are coming or not coming. You have a contact number of mine and Sita Priti Mataji. You can say that. If you are attending, I know these are only very serious kids who comes to our classes. So that's why I'm asking. If you are coming, please let us know. Then we will hold the class and you will also not miss anything. If you're not coming, you will miss one verse or some revision, right? For the next week.
This is Advait, I'll come.
Okay, very good. I like that. If you know that you're coming, then teacher is also very happy to come and teach.
Mataji, I'll come on Friday and Monday, both days.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll again put up this question, okay, in the message, so that we'll know exactly, and then we'll have if we are having a class or not. Okay, so we'll end the class over here. You have your dinner, Prashadam, and then go to sleep. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhuba evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hari
you,
Bol.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.